How about Key Arena NHL? Does that get you going at all, or are you sorely disappointed about that?
Here's the thing with that. I don't think the NBA is going to care. I don't think the NBA is going to care that we're pumping $600 million into Key Arena to renovate it. I don't think it's going to move the NBA needle, and frankly, I don't think it's going to bring an NBA team out here. However, I think NHL, chomping at the bit to expand, will send a team in short order. So
I believe you're correct about that.
That might be enough of an enticement for the NBA to move a team. But here's the thing: the NBA isn't expanding anytime soon. It would have to be a team moving. And frankly, that's just a much bigger investment and a much harder proposition than just having a new team come out here. So
you're a big NBA guy. Which NBA team is most likely to be the one that moves to Seattle? Like, are we getting the Detroit Pistons?
You know, the name that everyone was fired up about a few years ago, including myself, was Sacramento. It really looked like the Kings were on the move. But then the Kings did, the Sacramento community did something that Seattle was not willing to do for the Sonics, and that's really invest in the infrastructure and the real estate around the arena, and that was enough of an incentive to get the Kings to stay put.
So they tried, basically.
So they tried.
They kept their team, yeah.
But I don't know if there's a team that jumps out right now as an obvious choice. Certainly not a layup, which was what the Kings were at one point. So I think it would really have to take a team continuing to bottom out. Right now, Memphis is engaged in a demolition of their team, including allegedly NBA insiders are suggesting that perhaps they are going to start moving a couple of their franchise pieces in Marc Gasol, Mike Conley. And if that happens, the Grizzlies, which are losing something like $70 million a year right now,
not good,
could be on the move. But, frankly, who knows at this point? And I think that's always been the big question about Seattle reclaiming an NBA team, is that to do so is going to entail having to rip it away from another fan base, and that's just kind of an ugly proposition all around.
Yeah, they're certainly aware of how that felt the first time when it happened to them. So
exactly,
and they're going to have to do it to get a team back. Do you have a last question? I'll let you go back to work because you're such a busy man over there. Do you have a name in mind for the NHL team that could potentially land in Seattle?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I've heard steelheads being thrown around. I've heard Sasquatch is plural. I don't know, being thrown around.
Sasquatch.
What moves your needle on that one?
Sasquatch is such an underrated team name and team mascot idea, and it just shocks me that the Pacific Northwest has not managed to attach that to something.
Well, we could be very close, is what I'm saying. I mean, this is the potential of these Sasquatches.
I like steelhead and I like Sasquatch, and frankly, both of those names would be better than what the Vegas team decided to call.
What are they? Are they Outlaws?
They're the Golden Knights, and
sucks.
Frankly, that's just the most generic side of a milk carton name I can think of. So
so bad.
Steelhead and Sasquatch both have significant, obviously local connections, and they just sound like they have a lot more swag. So
I've also heard salmon, but I don't know about that one.
No, definitely steelhead over salmon.
You think about the uniform, the salmons would be like the uniform, like an alternate pink. Like.
Yeah, that could be fun. The logo could be really creative as well. I like the Seattle Seahawks logo. Sort of has that Native American vibe to it that I think really reflects Pacific Northwest's heritage, and I feel like we could probably get something similar, something that also projects that tradition and heritage with steelhead as a logo.
All right, man. I will let you go ahead and get back to work. Thank you so much for calling in and talking. I'm going to get out of here soon as well.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.
A busy week, to say the least, in Seattle sports. Not everything went our way, but it was definitely fun to follow. We talked a lot about the Mariners and what they've done this week. Talked about the NHL and the possibility of them moving into a renovated Key Arena. And I think that it's about time for me to get out of here. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's show, bonus show, kind of a random pop-up show, but we made it work. So my name is Christian Bond. I'm out of here. See ya.